Oh, I told y'all Kenya was on their way to breaking through more than just the distance events. Y'all got to watch the Kenya National Championships. Matter of fact, go back and watch it. Hey, look, I mean, it may not have the best production as like the US or Britain, but I mean, and even in some ways they don't have as much coverage or as good coverage, the camera people especially, as the Jamaican national trials. But hey, look, I thought their national trials were exciting, and unfortunately, people didn't see what was coming up because this man came at their national trials and he did his thing. They matched the national record there, and then he had already set the national record in Nigeria earlier this year. So many of you guys don't know who this guy is, right? You're just like, wait a minute, did he run at the Tokyo Olympics? Where the flub did this dude come from? Well, I'm about to get into that in a second. But first, you are watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And we about to get into where this guy came from. But look, let's look at this. He goes by two different names here. His middle name is Omanyala. So a lot of people know him as Omanyala. So it's Ferdinand Omanyala, right? And so he had ran a 10-1. He had a good tailwind here at the in Nigeria at Lagos. So okay, he matched that with less of a tailwind here in the first round at Tokyo. All right, he made it out of the first heat. He was the first, and I'm telling you, he's making history. He is the first Kenyan to make it in the semifinals in Olympic history in the 100-meter dash. That is a sign right there. Some people, just like what they were criticizing about China, oh, but he couldn't do it in the final. He ran too fast. Excuse me. If he didn't run his time that he ran, he wouldn't have made it to the final. Like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You run the time you need to run, and you hope and pray and cross your fingers that you can reproduce something, or if it's fast enough, right? Sometimes semifinals are faster than finals. It just is what it is. But this man right here, he didn't make it, unfortunately, to the final. But one thing that we do see him right here is he ran a 10 flat against a slight headwind. Now, it's negligible at this point, but a slight headwind. Now, if it was a 2.1, that ain't negligible. They would be like, hey, it's not qualifying. So that's why I mentioned it. So he broke his national record here, and then he did this. Let's go over to this page right here. Ferdinand Omanyala. See, even the Nation.Africa covers this as Omanyala. See, that's why some people didn't know that he ran there because he went by OMURWA, right? And so joins sub 10 club, shatters own record. All right. So what did he do? The first round in the heats, he ran a 996. But guess what? He ran faster. Now I don't have the exact win reading on this thing, and I was wanting to delay this, but if he had broken his own national record here and they're reporting on this, they have some data that must be a legal win reading, whether it's a 1.9, 2.0, or if it's a slight tailwind or a headwind. We're going to find that out later. But right now, he set a new national record for Kenya. Congratulations on that. But yes, he did run at Tokyo Olympics. Here you go. You know what he was in? It's unfortunate. Here he is right here. Let me bring up this picture. He was right here in this heat. Yeah, I know. He got Curly, DeGrasse. I mean, it was like that loaded field. And just to see Jimmy Vico, he didn't perform as well. Obviously, Johan didn't do as well there. But look, he's in this heat. I mean, it was hard enough to try to make this out. So, I mean, that's understandable that he didn't make it out of the semifinal. But yeah, guess what the man's ran? Guess what the man's ran? He ran a 9.86. All right, a 9.86. Now, some people are like, well, you know what? That's not fast. You know what? Breaking 9.9, breaking 10 is decent. We got to realize how hard that is. But so many of us are now used to and spoiled with so many athletes doing it, especially from the U.S. And in Jamaica, right? But he ran a 986. It's still hard to run into the 9.8s. And he's 25, meaning the man can go faster. 986. Now I want to know what the win reading was, because if it's closer to a 2.0, then he's getting a larger boost than it would be on the other end. But a 986, congratulations, sir. You have set a new Kenyan national record. Let's give him a round of applause. I will be covering also on this. Be sure to look out for Kenya. They've been extending their dominance. As a quick note, they have been extending their dominance from the distance into the other events. They've already had their own 400 athletes back in the 80s before. They got 400 hurdle athletes that they've had that dominated. Then we get, and even that surprise one at the World Championships before, rest in peace. And then you have the Javelin that Kenya has dominated, destroyed in 2015. Remember Beijing 2015? I forget the gentleman's name that won in the Javelin. So be sure to look out for them, because they are slowly encroaching on things that people would not have expected them. And they got the talent. They got the numbers too, that they can actually expand out into other sports and to other events and dominate. So we'll be covering the Prefontaine meet very shortly. As a quick note, the World Youth Championships got delayed until the 17th of August of 2021. Peace.